everyone, it's Sarah and welcome to my crochet channel. Now today's video I'm going to be showing you how to crochet our Sequin Diva Cowl. This particular cowl is made with a yarn that has sequins in it. But of course you don't have to use a yarn that has sequins in it. This is a super simple stair-step pattern, and it's perfect to add just a little bit of fun and glamour to just about any outfit, whether you're wearing it in the morning, the afternoon, or maybe out on the town that night. Now you can find this free crochet pattern on my blog, and I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. The yarn that I used for this Sequin Diva Cowl is called Red Heart Boutique Swanky. Now you can use any medium number 4 yarn that you want to. You can even use cotton as long as it's a medium 4. And of course, it does not have to have the sequins on it. The colorful cowl that you saw at the beginning of the video in the pictures is made out of Yarn Bee Sequin Diva, which is from Hobby Lobby. And it also has sequins in it, and of course it has lots of colors. And so you don't have to do this in a solid either. Use your imagination, or maybe just grab some medium weight number 4 yarn from your yarn stash and practice. It's a super simple pattern. It's the yarn that makes it beautiful. We're going to be stitching today with our eye hook. This eye hook is a 5.50 millimeter crochet hook. You'll need your scissors and you'll need a needle. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the amount of yarn that you're going to need is about 3.5 ounces, which is just 1 skein of this yarn or the Sequin Diva. And a lot of your worsted weight yarns, that's just 1 skein of yarn. We're going to begin with our slip knot. And I know it seems that working with yarn that has sequins on it might be a little bit challenging, but it's really quite easy. What I do is I just sort of ignore the sequins. Alright, so we've got our slip knot on our crochet hook, and we're going to chain 36 chains. And we're going to chain them just a little bit loose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I just wanted to show you, I'm just chaining, I'm ignoring those sequins, and they'll pop out and show up and sparkle as we go along. I've chained my 36 chains. You can see where my sequins are. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to place a half double crochet in the second chain from the hook. There's the first one, there's the second one. So I'm going to yarn over, go in that second chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3 of those loops. This entire cowl will be stitched in half double crochets, and I'm going to stitch 1 half double crochet in each of the chains across. Now we started in the second chain from the hook, and we originally chained 36, so we're going to have 35 half double crochets. And you'll notice, because we're using an eye hook, it is a little bit loose, and that's the way we want this cowl to be. We want the stitches to be just a little bit loose and not tight. I've completed this first row, stitching 1 half double crochet in each of the chains. You'll have 35 half double crochets because we began in the second chain from the hook. Alright, now we're going to chain 1 and turn. And then for row 2, we're just going to place 1 half double crochet starting in the very first stitch. Our chain 1 does not count as a stitch, it's just a turning chain. And what we're going to do for row 2 is place 1 half double crochet in each of the half double crochets across. And I wanted to show you also, as I'm stitching my half double crochets and those sequins come up, I'm just ignoring them like they're not even there and letting them just lay wherever they want to. I love the effect of the sequins. And again, you don't have to do this cowl with sequin yarn. Alright, so I'm just going to continue across, stitching 1 half double crochet in each of the half double crochets across. I completed row 2, stitching 1 half double crochet in each of the half double crochets across. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And for row 3, we're just going to repeat what we did for row 2. 1 half double crochet in the first stitch, and 1 half double crochet in each of the half double crochets across. And again, you're going to have 35 half double crochets. That's the number that you're going to have on each row. Even when we begin the stair-stepping effect, you're still going to have 35 half double crochets on each row. So again, I'm stitching 1 half double crochet in each of the half double crochets across. I've completed row 3, 1 half double crochet in each half double crochet across, chain 1 and turn. Now for row 4, we're going to stitch it the same, 1 half double crochet in each half double crochet across, and then at the end of this row we're going to chain 6 instead of 1. Alright, so I've done my chain 1, yarn over, go in our first stitch, and we're going to stitch 1 half double crochet in each half double crochet across. So I'll complete this row, and then I'll chain 6 and start to begin our stair-step effect on our cowl. I've completed the 4th row of stitching 1 half double crochet in each half double crochet across, and instead of chaining 1, I'm going to chain 6. Alright, now I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to stitch a half double crochet in the second chain from the hook. Then I'm going to stitch a half double crochet in these next 4 chains, and that'll give us 5 half double crochets because we began in the second chain from the hook again. Alright, so now we're going to stitch 1 half double crochet in the next 30 stitches, and we're going to leave the last 5 stitches unworked. Alright, so what that does is we have our 5 on this end. We'll stitch 30 half double crochets, and we'll leave the last 5 stitches unworked. And so I'll continue working across this row, stitching 1 half double crochet in each of the half double crochets, leaving the last 5 unworked. And again, that's going to give me 35 half double crochets because of the 5 that we added with our chain. So I've completed row 5. I began with my chain 6, stitched a half double crochet in the second chain from the hook, and stitched 4 more, so that gave us 5 half double crochets. Then I stitched 30 half double crochets across, leaving the last 5 half double crochets unworked. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to repeat rows 2 through 5, which is 1 half double crochet in each half double crochet. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. We'll start our half double crochet in the first stitch, and then we'll stitch 1 half double crochet in each stitch across. And so what we'll do is we'll stitch 1 half double crochet in each half double crochet all the way to this first one that we put in on the chain, and that will still give us 35 half double crochets. So I'm going to work across, stitching 1 half double crochet in each half double crochet. I've completed row 6, stitching 1 half double crochet in each half double crochet across. And what we're going to do for the next 2 rows is just repeat that. Chain 1, 1 half double crochet in each half double crochet across, chain 1, turn, 1 half double crochet in each half double crochet across. So I have half double crocheted down, chain 1, and then half double crocheted back up. And what we're going to do on this row is again chain 6. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to again do what we did here. We're going to turn, place a half double crochet in the second chain from the hook, and in those next 4 chains, hold that chain there, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we need to, oops, got a little splitty there, so let's go and fix that real quick. There we go. And then 1 more. So there's my 5 half double crochets for our next stair step. And again, we're going to stitch 1 half double crochet in the next 30 half double crochets. And again, that's going to form our stair step like we did here. So we'll put 1 half double crochet in each stitch across and leave the last 5 stitches unworked. One half double crochet in each stitch across, leaving the last 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, unworked, just like we did here. So after row 9, this is how your cowl should look. You can see how we're starting to stair step. And so what you're going to do is you're going to repeat row 2, 3, 4, and 5 12 more times, which is, of course, back and forth, then your chain 6, turn, half double crochet down, leaving those last 5 unworked. So you're going to repeat 12 more times, and that's going to get you the length of your scarf that you want. And of course, this scarf measures about 38 inches long. I've repeated rows 2 through 5 12 more times, and now my cowl is nice and long, and you can see the stair step effect on the sides. Now, something that naturally happens is that it might curve in just a little bit, And I like that because it gives it a little bit of a softer edge and not quite so pointed. So if yours is doing that, it's fine. All right, so once we've completed our last repeat of row 12, we end up on row 5 because of course we're repeating 2 through 5. And we don't want to have this little pointy edge. And so what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and stitch 1/2 double crochet in each stitch across, and we're going to do that 2 more times so that we have a nice even edge. So chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to just put 1/2 double crochet in each stitch across, and then we'll repeat that 2 more times, and that will give us 3 rows of just a solid row of 1/2 double crochets, and then I'll show you how to put them together to form the cowl. And I will say that if you want your cowl to be longer, you can continue to repeat rows 2 through 5 if you want it longer. Some people prefer a nice long cowl and some like one a little bit shorter. And if you wanted it a little bit shorter, then just don't do as many repeats. All right, now I'm going to do these 3 rows of 1/2 double crochet, and then I'll show you how to stitch your cowl together. I completed those 3 rows of 1/2 double crochet, chain 1, turn, and this gives us a nice edge to put our cowl together into a circle. So what you need to do is lay it out flat so that it doesn't have any twists in it, and you're going to lay the one end on the other end like this so that the 2 ends meet up together. I'm going to pull this up a little bit so you can see. It doesn't lay exactly flat because of the shape of it, but you want to make sure that you don't have any twists in your cowl. And we'll put the 2 ends together. All right, and then I'll show you a little closer, bring my camera in so that you can see how to slip stitch the ends together. All right, so I've got my 2 ends together. This is where we began our beginning chain, and then this is our end. I'm going to put my hook through the first stitch on this side and the first stitch on this side. I'm going to grab that loop and pull it through. And I didn't get it, so I'll try that again. We don't want that loop to come undone. There we go. This yarn that I'm using can be a little splitty because it is 2 different kinds of yarn together. It's got a shiny yarn that has the sequin on it, and then the other yarn. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a little chain 1 there just to make sure I'm up on top. And now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch it together. All right, so I'll go through the next chain on this side and the next stitch on this side. I'll pull that through and then pull that loop through the loop on my hook. Now, you didn't really have to worry about a front and a back because the way this pattern is worked, you don't really have a front and a back. Both sides look beautiful. What I like to do is just kind of look to see which side has the most sequins, and you can always push them through. One thing also to remember when putting the ends together is you don't want to pull this too tight. You want your slip stitches to be just a little bit loose so that it doesn't pucker up on you. You don't want the back of it to be all puckered up. And so I'm just going to continue working across, slip stitching my cowl together. The key to getting this to lay pretty is, like I said, stitching a little bit loose and also making sure you didn't twist your cowl. This particular style of cowl doesn't work well if it's twisted. All right, so I'm just going to continue working across, stitching it together, making sure it's laying pretty, and then I'll tie off and I'll show you how to do that when we're done. I've slip stitched it all together. I'm at the end here. I'm going to cut my yarn and tie off. Now, when you're working with a sequin and you want to use a needle to tie off, what I do if I cut my yarn and I have a sequin or two on there, I go ahead and I take my scissors and I clip off that sequin, because it will affect how we can weave that in. All right. So we'll thread that onto our needle. And I like to go through and make sure that end's going to hold a few times. So I went through a couple of times there. And this yarn is a little bit slippy, and so I'm going to go back on itself a couple of times. And again, go through fibers and stitches, not just the holes, and just make sure it's going to stay exactly where you want it. All right, I need to do this one as well, and it has a sequin. But I'm going to go ahead and cut the yarn there because it looks like there's a little knot. We don't want that. And I'll do the same thing with my end. So once you've seamed it up, this is how your cowl should look. And right here is the seam from the front. Here's the seam from the inside. And if you slip stitch that correctly, it should blend right in with the direction that the cowl is facing. Isn't that beautiful with those sequins on there? And remember, you don't have to have yarn that has sequins. You can always use a glitter yarn, a sparkle yarn, or not at all. It still makes a really nice cowl.